All right. Hey, Crystal. Thank
Hi.
you and welcome, and thanks for joining this.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yes, so Crystal is with us here, and she is a mental health specialist and one of my favorite person. She's so
Oh,
beautiful. Yeah, like
thank
outwards,
you.
inwards, you are helping so many people. So I was getting inspired, like, let me call her and let's talk about it, about your journey and any messages and how would you recommend all these things. So let's start with you. What inspired you to become mental health professional?
Yeah. So my journey started, yeah, of course, back in college. I really set out to be a nurse. And so I always, again, had that feeling of wanting to help people. I was like that when I was little. And I said, you know what? I wanted to be a nurse. And so that's the helping profession, right?
Yeah.
But one day, one semester, I got into a class, Psychology 101, very basic, right? Anybody who goes to college, would take that type of course. And so the professor I had at the time, he taught that course, and it was just something about how he made it so fascinating about mental health, about learning about the brain, learning about your emotions, and learning about why people do what they do, or figuring out why they do the things that they do. And so with me, on my journey of being a nurse, I switched majors. During that time, I believe I was in my sophomore year when
Uh-huh.
I decided to say, you know what? Yeah, I definitely want to get into more of what that would look like for me. And so that's kind of how I started my journey, was switching my career, my path to nursing to psychology.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yes. So what keeps you motivated in this field?
What motivates me is the journey that
Mm,
people allow me to be on with them. And
yeah.
so when I meet somebody for the first time, they tell me their story, their struggles, what they hope to get out of therapy, just seeing how they were at the beginning to where they could end up, like three to
Yeah.
6 months or however long it would be. That's the part I really love. It's just
Yeah.
watching the transformation.
Yes, that is so true. You meet one on one, talk to them, and
Mm.
with the nature, and then that kind of like empath you have inside of you, definitely they can connect to you. So tell me one thing: when you go on this journey, meet these people, what are some common mental health issues or challenges you feel these people are facing, especially in this scenario these days? So what
Yeah.
is, yeah.
Yeah, so a lot that's a great question. So a lot that I'm noticing is past traumas
Hmm.
that people have not really dealt with,
Yeah.
traumas that people have not allowed themselves to face or even realize that a lot of that is hindering them from growing or being that best version of themselves.
Yeah, that is true. Trauma plays major role when I do my holistic healing.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything is coming from their trauma. Yes. So tell me
Yeah.
one more thing. Like, what is major myth about mental health that you wish more people understand about?
So, what I want people to understand is that just because you're seeking out help, going to therapy does not make you crazy. You know what
Yes.
I'm saying? Because I know what people think, like if you're going to counseling, you're crazy, and that's not the
Yes.
case at all. That's a myth. And
Yeah.
so my thing when it comes to that, think about when you're going to your family doctor.
Exactly.
You're going to get help when it comes to health, whether it's dealing with diabetes, high blood pressure, holistic health care.
Exactly.
Look at your mental the same way. Everything's connected. So if you're not sleeping, if you're having stomach issues, where is that coming from? And that could be coming from stress. That could be
Exactly.
coming from not being able to verbalize the things that you're struggling with. Like you're suppressing a lot of that, which is coming out in a way of physical ailments, if that makes sense.
Yes, 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 because I do see that too. They cannot
Yeah.
express and they have shoulder pains. So shoulder pain is
Yes.
physical expression, and then mental health it goes like beyond that. When for so long
Yes.
you're suppressing those emotions, that
It
turns
weighs you
out.
down. It
Exactly.
weighs you
Yep.
down. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So tell me one more thing, like how someone knows that it is time to seek a professional help, especially like mental and emotional
Yeah.
well-being, when it is right time to come to you.
Yeah. So I hate that it gets to that point where, you know what, I do need to talk to somebody. So
Mm-hmm.
a way a person would know it's time to talk to someone if you're not going to work, if you're sleeping more than usual, if you're isolating, not being around people like your usual self, loss of appetite,
Oh yeah.
more irritability, lashing out a little bit more than usual. Those are things that get people to feel like, okay, this isn't me.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
at a point where I'm sleeping more, my appetite, I'm overeating, I'm not eating at all. I'm not going to work, I'm not functioning in school, my grades had dropped. Like those are ways to understand, like those are indicators to say, okay, I need help. I need to talk to somebody.
Yes, and if there is no close friend or like relatives available, definitely they should go to some
Yeah.
professional, and there nobody is judging them. The
Yeah.
fear of judgment
It,
is also plays a role, isn't it?
it plays a huge role. And I tell people all the time, it's not about everybody. It's about you.
Exactly.
It's about
Yes.
you getting your needs met, making sure that you want to thrive versus surviving.
Exactly. Yes,
Yeah.
thriving versus surviving. Beautiful. You
Yeah.
explained it beautifully. Yes. So, what are the how can they take care of daily in daily life? How can someone take care of like it's starting they are noticing this thing, but self help, is there
Yeah.
something like self help they can use in daily routine? Is there something?
Yeah.
Yeah, tell me
Yeah,
about it.
so very simple things,
Mhm.
pay attention, listen to your body. Your body's going to let you know if something's off. So think about outlets. What are things that will help like fill your cup up or just having some type of physical outlet? So that could be journaling, writing out how you're feeling. That could be exercising, doing deep breathing, being around people that you feel connected to that will not judge you. So
Mm.
little things like that makes a big difference. It's just everyday stuff. Think about what you're putting in your system. Are you putting in junk? Are you eating a lot of things that is going to make you feel crappy or feel like very lethargic or very like tired? So everything's connected. So think about just little things that you can do on a regular basis, going to bed a little bit earlier,
Oh
what
yes.
does your morning time routine look like? How do you start your day off?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, definitely. And how do we say about the boundaries, like
Mm,
where the fear comes? So how can they create and what are the
mm.
boundaries? Can you tell please more about that?
Yeah, boundaries is a beautiful thing. I see boundaries as a form of self love.
Mm-hmm.
You love yourself enough not to allow someone to cross certain boundaries that you put in place to protect
Exactly.
you. And so I know people struggle with boundaries. We all do because you don't
Exactly.
want to make somebody upset. You don't
Yeah.
want to disappoint them. But my thing, again, it goes back to you. You're doing this for you.
Yes.
So if someone cares about you, respects you, that they're not going to cross those boundaries. If you say, don't do this, or, I don't feel comfortable doing this or doing that, this is my boundary, this is what I stand on, people will
Yes.
take, like, if people really do mean to do you good, they'll respect that boundary.
Yeah, definitely. This conversation is short but very helpful, Crystal. Yes,
Yeah.
you are the master. You knows what you're doing, how you're helping. Yes, day by day I see.
I love what I do. I
Yes,
really do. I
exactly.
love,
They
yeah,
can help you what when they love their profession. So it is not
yeah,
just fulfilling your job, it comes with a passion. Yes, that's true.
yeah. You
So
have to have
Crystal,
it.
if someone wants to reach out to you for help, tell me your information. How can they reach out? I'm going to post that in our comment session also, but tell me how they can reach out to you.
Yeah.
Where
So
you
they
have
can
clinic, right?
Yep. I am at Uniquely You Counseling and Wellness Center. That's my practice. 6710 Old Trail Road, right here in Wayndale, Fort Wayne area.
Yes, Wendell.
Um, our phone number is 260-387-7445.
Okay.
I'm on social media, Facebook, just type in Uniquely You Counseling and
I'm
Wellness
going to,
Center.
yes, connect to your social media on this video
Yes.
also, so people will be able to reach out. She is such a comfortable to talk,
Mm,
and she is one of my favorite, Crystal. So yes,
thank
yes, you
you.
will
Thank you
feel
for
connected. You will feel in good hands when you talk to her. So
mm,
Crystal, thank you so much what you're doing, and
mm.
you are a gift.
Aw, thank you. Thank you